Hi, all. Dana Dubois here with I Write Out Loud, and I am here for a red flag rundown roundup. Geez, I don't even know the name of my own thing. Red flag roundup. I am so excited. I also, because I'm paranoid, I need to go check all of my channels and make sure this is actually streaming through StreamYard as it's supposed to be. I'm going to go check them one at a time. Yep, it's working on Facebook where no one will be, but here it is. I'll just say hi there, and then I'm going to check. I'm checking Substack last, even though this is where most people will be, because Substack always has a couple minute lag where I feel like the others do not. So, hold on a minute. I am in the right one here. Live. YouTube makes it hard to find lives. Oh, that's me to watch lives. That is not my live. Your channel. Yep, it says I'm live. All right, we're 2 for 3 so far. Let me say hello here. And the ultimate test, hitting refresh on Substack. Let's see if it's working. Oh, I am live on Substack. I see a bunch of you here already. Uh, First comment I see is from Karma saying Substack makes plenty of money to have this shit fixed. So annoying. Yeah, Substack does not want you using other tools, so it has a lag. This is completely correct. Karma and Linnea, you're both completely correct. Substack just wants you here, and most people who are podcasting as I am like this, especially doing lives, we would like to stream to multiple channels. The funny thing is, I would love nothing more than to just focus on one channel, but that is a dangerous thing to do as a creator because then you are at the mercy of what the platform is going to do. I am predominantly here on Substack. In fact, while I'm here, I am going to send you all a link to my YouTube channel. Let me go grab it. I believe this is it. Yeah. So if anybody here would like to follow me in another spot, come follow me on YouTube because I think I'm going to be focusing on YouTube in the coming months about how to grow over there as well. We now need to do the always ritual here. Hey, since Substack is now going to start doing sponsorships, let's practice like I always do. My dog Kira loves Nature Gnaws. These fine chew sticks. They look delicious, don't they? They're just hardy enough that they keep her busy while I am live. And as you can see, she loves them. Nature Gnaws. I'm just messing with you. I mean, not about Substack offering sponsorships. That's apparently starting. But if Nature Gnaws wanted to pay me to do that, that'd be fantastic. That would absolutely make my day. Speaking of my day, do you know what made my day today? I hit 210 paid subscribers, a decile. I know it seems silly to be counting by 10, but I swear even the big guys on Substack, it is like one paid subscriber at a time. We know that it is all about the connection we have with all of you. And at least I can't speak for every creator, but I do not take a single one of you for granted. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you who have a paid subscription to I Write Out Loud. In the 4.5 months since I launched this channel, I cannot believe the growth that has happened, the community that is formed here. I have loved every minute of it, and I have so many plans for what I want to do next. Some of those plans will require more of my time and brain than I have to give, while I also have a, full-time day job. Hence the paid subscriber and the sponsorship talk, right? We creators who are here in earnest, at least ones like me, I should just say, at least me, I can really only speak for me. I would love to be doing this full-time eventually. That is my goal. And subscriptions like yours help to make that happen. So this red flag roundup is a thank you to all of you who have helped me hit this milestone. I also want to let you all know, for those of you who are not yet paid subscribers, right now I am still running introductory annual pricing. That's what I launched with back in February when I wasn't really sure if this was going to get going or not. And it's going. So the introductory window is closing. This Sunday is the final day for $40 annual subscriptions to I Write Out Loud. They will go up substantially from there, and there will be more and more paid subscriber benefits from there. So for all of you who are here early and who are supporting my work, please, now is the time. If you've been thinking about getting a paid subscription, I want to make sure you can all benefit from this very low rate. And this low rate never goes away. If you subscribe now, it will always be $40 a year. I hate jump scares at renewal time when you opt in at a really low price and then bam, it like goes triples the next year. That is not cool. So this is a lifetime $40 annual subscription. I'm going to grab the link. I mean, if you just click my subscribe button, it goes there as well. But for fun, I'm going to put it, I'll put it in the YouTube chat too, because why the heck not? And sure, the Facebook one where no one is, let's do that too. I don't even know why Facebook bothers having live streaming. I have never had, I don't know if I've had like a couple of friends every now and then find it, but my Facebook page is also private, but I have like 1,600 friends. You'd think some of them would find it, right? And the daily whatever shows is not private. Nobody finds that either. So, oh my gosh, look at all of you folks who are here today. I am thrilled you are here. If you are here and you are not yet a paid subscriber and you are at all interested, as I was saying, now is the time. There are 2.5 more days. Sunday night it goes away, and then once that $40 lifetime subscription, $40 annual lifetime subscription goes away, that will be it. There will be other promotions, but I don't think it will ever be as good as this one. So I would welcome your support. It helps keep my work going. It helps others who are not able to afford to take paid subscriptions, find my work. And it helps make my day. And it helps bring things like Red Flag Roundup to life. If I hit my next decile before this pledge drive ends, I will do another Red Flag Roundup because I have so many screenshots, you guys. I have so many derpy men hitting me up in my inbox. So it's kind of an endless supply of red flags. With that, I think my intro time is over and I'm going to jump into doing this roundup. First, Kira, it's only 8 minutes after the hour, and Kira already needs another nature nom. She loves these treats, Nature Naws, and you should sponsor me offering her these treats. Let's let Kira show her face and then we'll get into the red flag roundup. Okay, are you ready? Come on over here. There she is. Good dog. I love her so much. She's such a menace, and I have trained her to do this now, right? To beg during these lives, but oh well. Okay, who here, if you can let me know in the chat, put a 1 in the chat if this is your first time at a red flag roundup and you're not sure what's going on. Put a 2 in the chat if you've been to a red flag roundup before. So 1 means you don't, this is your first one. 2 means you've been to one before. I just want to get a feel. I see a 1, a 2. Ellie, hi Ellie. 2, 2, 1. Okay, so we're kind of divided. A few more 1s than 2s, it looks like. Fantastic. All you 1s are in for a treat. Excellent. Okay, so let me first explain a little bit about what this is. And then we will get in. Lynette, I know you're a 2. You missed the question, Karma. The question is, if you have never been to a red flag roundup before and you're not sure what this is, put a 1. If you have been to a red flag roundup before, put a 2. So I'll await your response and I'll start talking and I'll look to see yours. I don't know if you've been to one before, Karma. I don't overtly remember you being at one. Oh, you're a 1. Okay, great. So it's your first time. Here's how they work. I think you all know what red flags are when it comes to dating. It's something that is a signal that's saying, run away, warning, warning, warning. The roundup is just me gathering them up. But what I'm doing is I have online dating profiles, and I am going to be sharing some of the profile text and also some of the individual messages I've received from some online suitors. And these are all men I should avoid it. And if you see ones like this, you should avoid. And here's the thing. Some of them are obvious and a little bit funny, but the reason I do these red flag roundups is not to punch down. And it's not simply to lighten the mood while I'm in the hell of looking at online dating profiles, though that is certainly part of it because it sucks. Um, it's more educational. And there is a woman named Jenny Young here on Substack. She runs not just runs, she founded Burned Haystack Dating Method. And she is a professor of rhetoric. And she invented the Burned Haystack Dating Method to help women like me who are looking for monogamous long-term relationships on the dating apps, to help us not waste our time, energy, bandwidth on men who are not worth pursuing. And she did this in response to a general zeitgeist out there, which is give men a chance, you never know, open your parameters, and how you really need to try and give men a chance. And she was, at the time, several years ago, also going through the dating apps, and she was finding it to be this huge time and energy suck and just very fruitless. And the lure is that she Googled, how do you find a needle in a haystack? And it came back and said, you need to burn all the hay. And that just light bulb went off in her head of, oh, we shouldn't be giving men chances who don't deserve chances. We should block them and move on in the apps and don't bother explaining why. You don't waste your time if they are demonstrating behavior that rules them out. You only pay attention to the few who remain who you should rule in. And she's also, she's a college professor, and she was seeing young women getting into some pretty dangerous situations. And because she's a professor of rhetoric, she recognizes rhetorical patterns in the way men talk and in the way they write, either in their profiles or when they first reach out to women, that are things that you may not recognize as red flags, but she has identified and names them. And so there is a nomenclature with the Burned Haystack Dating Method that those of us who follow know what it means. And I'll be using some of those terms today, things like test and apologize. That's a big one. The idea of, if any of you have been on dating apps, you've seen this, and you've probably seen this in real life, where on a dating app, it usually shows up as sexual innuendo, where a man will write something that is very inappropriate to write to a woman they don't know on the internet. And then they will apologize right away when it doesn't get the desired response. An example I got once was some guy who wrote like, that's a really cute dress, like referring to my profile picture. That's a really cute dress. I bet it would look good on my floor. And then when I didn't respond right away, it was like, oh, I'm just joking, ha ha ha. I'm just excited to meet you. And I think you're really beautiful. And her point of view is, you could read that and be like, oh, okay, he's just being funny. But a test and apologize is a manipulative tactic. And the test is always in earnest, and the apology never is. The apology just comes when they don't get what they want. And so that's a block to burn. That means just not just swipe left, but you're supposed to just go in and block them. So they never, because if you just swipe left on the apps, they recycle the men, which is not great, but that's what they do. A lot of people are saying ooh in the chat. So the ones that you're going to see here, some of them are overt, but some of them are things that I've been pretty shocked that my friends who are no longer single, when I'll show them some of the examples I've done in previous red flag roundups, they'll be like, oh, so you're going to meet that guy? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to meet that guy. There was one who, folks who have been coming to Sunday Salon will recognize, where this, because I've mentioned him twice, this man wrote to me out of the blue and pointed out that our daughters were in the same high school choir, which I don't know him, he's a stranger, and that he'd been noticing me, or he was just like, I thought I'd reach out and say hi, but he wanted a tawdry, he used the word tawdry, no, nothing serious, but tawdry engagements, but maybe not, he wouldn't want to get involved with someone whose kids go to high school together. And so it made me feel very unsafe in real life. And every time I go to a choir performance, I scan the room for him and I have seen him in there and I avoid him because he feels so unsafe. And I showed it to my friend at the choir thing. I was getting ready to leave and I'm like, oh, this happened. And what I meant was, I'm a little nervous to go to the parking lot that he might be there. And she was just like, oh, so you're going to meet that guy? So, women, we need to aim higher. We need to recognize we may just be alone and to not allow men who do unsafe or unsavory things into our lives. Okay, so here we go. I'm saying hello. There are lots of highs in the chat. Hello, hello, hello. I am going to jump in. Let me come back here to StreamYard because through the magic of StreamYard, I am going to share. I'm going to share some of these delightful suitors with all of you. Now, these first couple are just silly, but they're setting the stage because um, I did a really silly thing, maybe, but it's providing me with a lot of fodder. I, um, in a moment of sad, because I think some of you know that I'm a little meh right now. But I was like, I'm gonna build a profile on Tinder. I've heard Tinder is. I have a friend who met her husband on Tinder, and they are like the most perfectly matched couple you could ever meet. And I'm like, I've heard it's not that much of a hookup app anymore; that it's more just like all the other apps. I'm gonna put a profile on Tinder. Oh, that's been funny. So the first couple of messages here. Oh, I just held my drink and my fingers got wet. Now my trackpad's not working. Hang on though. I do need a sip. I have a really delicious iced mocha here. Mm, that is delicious. It's very hot here today. This is like an ASMR video now. So let me see if this works. I'm going to call these first couple, I'm just calling this little series like grown men with emoji problems. So let me just see if I can do this. Okay. So um, the, I obviously don't have a lot of discourse analysis here because there's no discourse. There's no words. I have gotten so many of these, and I went to take screenshots ahead of this, and a lot of the men have since unmatched with me because they didn't respond when they sent me kissy face, or when they sent me, oh look, it's emoji theater. I believe that I shouldn't have left his name on here, but I don't think Kmark is his real name. I believe this reads as horny, grabby, hot and sweaty, devil, delightful. So these were just, I had never corresponded with these men. I have gotten so many emoji theaters um, that it's just very silly, right? Like maybe there are women out there who, if a guy writes like this, are like, oh, that's cute. He's typing to me in emojis instead of words. That seems like the kind of man I am eventually going to have very serious feelings about one day and might want to trust with my heart, mind, and body. This guy with the purple devil and the grabby hands and the hot. Um, I, I don't know any women who would find this appealing, so I did not respond to these. I haven't blocked anybody because I've been saving them for my red flag roundup. But I am gonna move to this is when emoji theater maybe goes slightly next level, because this one does have a bit of discourse analysis to talk about in it. So first message, this is again first meeting of this man. And he just says, good morning with sunglasses, which not the most interesting message, but okay, low effort. Lots of people never write back. So I understand why on a first, if a man who seems otherwise interesting only writes like, hi, Dana, or good morning. If his profile looks neutral or good, I will usually respond with similar energy, you know, hi back kind of a thing. I don't take this and write anything more than that because match energy is my advice. But I hadn't yet responded. And then he writes, our interests align, comma, in many respects. Dangerous question mark, grin face. Now, this is not the most egregious message I've ever seen by many miles. But that's what makes this more nuanced and interesting, because men on the dating apps need to recognize that women on the dating apps are making themselves far more vulnerable than they are. Um, there's an expression out there about like men are afraid women will make fun of them or ignore them, and women fear men will kill them. Um, that's not untrue, statistically speaking. Did you hear that? I just knocked my desk, and my dog now thinks that there's an enemy at the door. That's not the door, sweetie. That was just me. You're okay. So it's important for if you are a woman thinking about meeting a man for any reason, whether from a hookup to a looking for a long-term relationship, you are taking a risk. You could argue men are too, but the risk is not even. It is not the same. And any man who wants to argue with you about that, like, do not give a moment of consideration to, because that's simply not true. So one of the things that you're doing when you are first meeting men, through text, is assessing their judgment. Does this man demonstrate good judgment? And that goes from everything from not leading with purple horny emojis. That's very poor judgment. And I should state here that my profile, while it is not the most completed one, it has some words. And I do state that I'm looking for a long-term relationship. I'm not marked as looking for a hookup or even a short-term relationship. I just have it flagged long-term. I have a few photos, and then I wrote a little bit because I'm me. I'm not going to not have words. So um, there is a little bit of information that they could. So he's acknowledging that our interests align. That's good. He's not saying which ones, and I don't remember what he had in his profile to know if they align. But if he had just ended with our interests align in many respects, smiley face, I would have replied. Because I would have been, especially if I looked and I was like, oh yeah, we like the same music, or we work in tech, or we're both writers, or whatever it is. I would have been like, okay, cool. But adding dangerous with a smiley face, I know this man is being tongue in cheek. I'm sure. Like, oh, dangerous. We could be like, it's dangerous when you meet someone you might like and put your heart on the line. The kind interpretation of this is that he is simply being playful. But to me, he is exercising poor judgment, because he is immediately underlining the fact that he could be a threat to me. At least that's how I take this. I'm going to move over. When I'm presenting like this, I can't see the chat. So I'm going to come over here because I want to hear what you all have to say about this. Um, let me see here. Jason says asymmetrical risk assessment for sure. Thank you, Jason. That is very well put. And Shirley says, I would never go online to meet someone. It seems very risky. Yeah, a lot of women don't want to. I would very much like to find a partner, and it is simply a necessary, I don't want to call it an evil, but it is there. There is no other effective way to meet people, and I don't ever meet people in real life, which is tragic because I go out pretty frequently, but I simply don't. So it's just a way of expanding my reach, right? Let's see. He's a creeper, seems to ask something to see how you respond. Yeah, I think so. That's not even a normal smiley face. Looks more like a leering face. Agreed. All those teeth looks a little scary. If he's not aware how bad that can read, he's too clueless. That's it, Courtney. And gentlemen, if you're here and you're on dating apps, I'm just giving you some behind the scenes knowledge. Hopefully there are no men with bad intent here who are learning how to manipulate us, but I highly doubt that's who I'm attracting to this chat. Oh, Professor Meredith, hi. Talking to anyone online really does require so much risk assessment. Absolutely. And all we have are our minds and our guts to go on, right? You have to just get a gut read. And this gave me the ick. And speaking of Burned Haystack and Jenny Young, who, if you're not following her, she's on Substack, she's on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, but her long form writing is all on Substack. It's JENNIE, Jenny Young. And if you search on Burned Haystack Dating Method, that's her publication. She just published a book. She's been doing a book tour. Like, she's huge. But she just wrote an essay about the ick. And because it's women who use it, it's been put down as like, oh, you're just acting like childlike. And her premise, and I 100% agree with it, is no, the ick is your intuition. The ick is your gut saying something's not right here and it's making me feel off. And you should always listen to the ick. It's, it's tongue in cheek. It's it's an internet thing. It's very serious. So always pay attention to the ick online, in real life, wherever you are, in dating and otherwise. That is your sympathetic nervous system trying to let you know something is wrong. So this message, this was all I heard from this guy. He is a stranger on the internet. I was not that interested anyways. I don't remember who he was, but there's been anybody who I would remember if he was someone where I was like, damn, he seemed really good. He seemed fine, but this was it. Like, dangerous. We're done. Don't gloat about the safety imbalance that we have and the fact that you could be a predator. It's not funny, not at all. Block to burn. So that is my discourse analysis here. And I do want to read a few more comments before I move on to the next ones, which get, I think, a bit funnier and a bit more egregious. That smile is fiendish. It is. I mean, I use that smiley face sometimes, but I do usually mean it like, with a little evil behind it, a little grin. I always go for the crying, laughing emoji. Somehow it feels much less predatory. Indeed. Professor Meredith, that's funny. I usually use the one that's kind of like a little flushed face and a smile without any teeth. That's my standard smiley face. I like that one. If the voice in the back of your head says ick, listen to it. Mike, 100%. A woman's intuition is real, Karma. Agreed. I can't speak for all women, and I certainly can't speak for men, but I would tell most people that you should pay attention to the ick, and especially women when dating. The ick is usually right. Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. Timothy, it makes me feel like you're singing a song. I feel like I don't know what song it is, or I would sing it, but yes, this is not right. Colleen says, I get the ick when I ignored it. I had problems. Yeah. If we ignore our intuition, it's never a good thing. Hold on. Iced mocha needs to be sipped. While I'm doing this, oh, it's a meme. See, it went over my head. Sorry, I can't keep up with all the internet phenomenon all the time. Ick is pattern recognition. Yes, Professor Meredith, I knew there was a reason I loved you. It is pattern recognition. I am a dot connector. I love pattern recognition. It's absolutely what it is, whether it's conscious. I would say the ick is like subconscious pattern recognition, where you can't quite identify why it's making you react. So your brain maybe isn't telling you it's wrong, so your gut has to let you know, like, be safe. While I'm sipping this, would you all click the heart? Because I think more people find these lives when the heart is clicked. We've got a nice crowd in here, which is awesome to see, but let's click some hearts and see if we can get even more. Have a sip because that looks delicious. Yeah, it's a mocha I got earlier at a cafe and then put in my fridge, and I've added a little ice and oat milk to it. I got it hot and then was like, I don't want a hot one. So I thought I'd save it for. It was once I saw that I'd hit 210 paid subscribers and I'd be doing this today, that I was like, I don't want to have an iced mocha while I do this. Because these are all things that make me very happy. Talking to all of you, talking about discourse analysis and online dating and iced mochas in the sun on a Friday. I'm very happy. Okay. Lynette, you're so sweet. Lynette said, y'all subscribe to I Write Out Loud and come join us on Sunday Salon. We have fun and learn something too. At least I do. Lynette, you are so sweet. And I'm going to do a quick shout out that the Sunday Salon is my weekly paid subscriber chat. And we dive into my essay of the week and the themes behind it, but we really click a level deeper into the cultural and political implications of the essay. I tend to spill a little bit more behind the scenes tea or just knowledge share about influences that went into the essay that I maybe wouldn't share in a public space. And we have such a wonderful community there because it's this small chat and we are all talking with one another through the chat. It's really, really fun. And yes, it is a benefit of becoming a paid subscriber, which for the next 2.5 days, you can still do $40 a year for the life of the subscription. Let me go grab that link and then I'm going to jump back into the next discourse analysis. Because I am, oops, I have Facebook and I have YouTube up too, so lots of windows. I am really hoping to hit 220 before the pledge drive ends, and then I will do another public red flag roundup. I think I'm in the process of creating what all of my programming is going to be on I Write Out Loud. It won't just be, right now there's one essay a week, one public live, that's on Wednesdays, and then the Sunday salon. I'm going to be layering in more things, and some will be public and some will be behind the paywall. And I think Red Flag Roundup most of the time might move behind the paywall or at least have the chat be paid only. I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet, but certainly if it's part of the pledge drive, it's going to be a celebration and it's going to be public. So if you are not yet a paid subscriber and you would like to become one, $40 a year for the life of the subscription, and I'll do another one of these. Okay. Oh my God, I love this comment. Hang on. I have to read this one from Eve. Pretend it's your 12-year-old daughter getting this message and decide that way. My daughters are 18 and 16, and I would say the same. How would you advise your daughters? I think they might, is somebody talking about the flowers is it correct to say that not all men are predatory? Of course, Timothy, not all men, that's a trope at this point, but yes, I don't think all men are predatory. Of course not. I think a lot of men have good intent. And if I can educate men by doing this, I am thrilled to do that as well. Because some of it may be bad intent and some of it, I fully acknowledge some of this is cluelessness. This guy was probably not trying to make me feel unsafe, consciously or subconsciously. Who knows? He simply did. And so I'm gone. So if this helps good men be better and be better allies, better advocates, I'm all for it. Let me scroll here again. Lynette is saying, I think they might have been daughter's graduation flowers, but not sure it might be a surprise. The flowers that I posted the other day were for my daughter for her graduation. Those were not for me, although, and they're right here. Aren't they beautiful? They, I just think they're so pretty. So, yes, my daughter graduated high school yesterday, my older daughter, and I'm very proud of her. So, flowers. There we go. I'm trying to. Oh, it was Brittany who asked who gave you the flowers. I bought the flowers for my daughter. I haven't had anyone bring me flowers in a long time, actually. Of the couple of men I've dated somewhat seriously in the last year, neither brought me flowers. That may have said something. It's funny because I don't necessarily love cut flowers. I love those cut flowers. I love dahlias, but the like dozen red roses, I'm kind I'm indifferent to those very floristy looking flowers. It's more the idea of a man showing up with flowers, like especially early in courtship when you're not sure. I just may the next one show up with flowers. We'll just say that. Okay. I am scrolling down here to see. You're saying Timothy is saying that he doesn't have a daughter. Then pretend I'm your daughter. This is a love bombing text and it's absolutely dangerous. I don't know if this one is love bombing or if you're talking about something else, but this one just gives me the ick. And that's all that needs to be said about that. Professor Meredith says the men I know who aren't predatory have one thing in common. They see women as full human beings and not objects to manipulate or own. Underline exclamation point, period. Yes, that's everything. That's everything right there. Like, Yes. And I co-sign that 100%. That is the definition, like the baseline of a good man. Um, Courtney says I buy myself flowers whenever I feel like I need them. Me too. But, you know, something nice about being gifted flowers. Jason says, I believe in bringing flowers for no reason whatsoever. Well, Shayla is a lucky lady. And it is a Barbara Streisand song. Lynette, funny aside, and then I'm going to get back into this. I assume you're quoting You Don't Bring Me Flowers by Neil Diamond and Barbara Streisand. Lawrence and I have another best friend from who we like went to high school with, grew up with, named Denise. And all three of us moved to Seattle within a couple of years of each other. I was the third to arrive. Denise came first. And Denise has a very, very New York Jewish mother who sort of taught, I can't do the accent as well as I'd like, but she has this very thick accent. And so we used to get up and karaoke, You Don't Bring Me Flowers, in the voice of her mom. So it'd be like, you hardly talk to me anymore when I come through the door at the end of the day. And we do this very exaggerated, You Don't Bring Me Flowers. And it's a very happy memory. You like bringing sunflowers. Oh, that's lovely. Sunflowers are nice. Okay. I loved that song when I was little. I love that song still. Not as much as I love Barry Manilow then and still. Barry Manilow is my all-time favorite. At some point, I'm going to write an essay about how much I love Barry Manilow. Still and always. Okay, let's come back here. Some man writes, has this in his dating profile, like, you must love Barry Manilow. That's it. That's the man for me. I would write him and say, looks like we made it. Okay, I will stop singing poorly and I will come back to StreamYard. So I'm going to go to my next one. Everybody ready? Everybody ready? You're going to love this guy. Okay, this one I corresponded with for a hot second. So there's a little back and forth. Let me add it to stage. Okay. So first message starts out pretty good. Hi, Dana. Happy you liked me back. Very nice. The word actually is a little like, why do you sound surprised? I'm actually getting a super good vibe from you. Dave should have stopped there. I should have blocked out his name too, but how many Daves are there in the world? A million. I'm not giving anything personal away here. I'm actually getting a super good vibe from you. That would have been really nice. He continued, starts diving a little. To the extent I have a type, you are pretty much it. I'm Dave. First of all, Dave, his name is on his profile. And a lot of men do that where you don't have to introduce yourself. It's literally right there, but okay. I reply, and I'm essentially goading him because to the extent I have a type, you are pretty much it. I'm like 90-10 split, that I'm 90% sure that whatever he replies to my question is going to be a deal breaker. I will allow for the 10% that he's going to be like, I have a thing for, women who are really good with words, who wear cool glasses. That's my type. Then I would be like, great. Here I am, sir. Let's talk. But I'm pretty certain that this man is not going to notice anything I have shared about myself in this profile. Even if they commented on my physicality of like you've got a super bright smile, I love your red hair. Like there are things men can say commenting on my physicality that, especially my smile, like a lot of men lean into that. And I'm like, that is a lovely compliment. Like your smile completely brightens up my day. I love your sense of style. We seem to be interested in the same things. You are totally my type. A man like that would be totally my type. But no, here is where Dave goes. Beautiful, great smile. Okay. Great figure. I don't know if anyone else in the chat agrees with me on this, but to me, like the word figure denotes someone very old. It's like a very boomer thing to say. She has a lovely figure. Like the person sounds like they're 100 years old to me. Maybe not literally 100, but that's a very old fashioned expression. And it's also like ick a little, like that's full on like a bit too much commentary there. Oh, I'm saying hello because I see we've got somebody in one person in over on YouTube. Hi, Kat. It is nice to see you. At least there's one. No, there's three people. Yay, one commenting. Um, so yeah, and then he makes it even worse and says, much shorter than me. So I'm before I dive in and talk about what I think about this comment, I'm gonna come back over here to this. I see nope, nope, nope. Also, yeah, lost me with the total focus on the physical. Good one, Dana. He didn't know your type at all. Hello, Frederick. I see you there. Ick immediately goes to looks for my type is so gross. I'm gagging. Um, okay, so it sounds like the 1950s. You're a lovely figure. If that message is how you get with a woman, Stevie Wonder would not never have had one. Um, yeah, and if allowed is a little stilted, right? So and you don't even like super good vibe. The super good vibe was fine. It's kind of a neutral thing for me, but yes, this was a very clear block. Move on. Do not talk again to this person. I'd love to see if there's any other comments before I weigh in. Yeah, if allowed equals passive aggressive, in my opinion. It's just really weird. Like, well, I'm going to get to that in a second of what I hear on that if allowed. Very diplomatic of me. So here's what I see. First thing is beautiful, which there's part of me that's like, I'm simply not. But okay, I could be beautiful in someone's eyes. Um, but talking again, physicality first, ick, a bit of ick, but great smile is fine. That's lovely. Great figure makes me want to vomit. It's like he's starting with it's to me, this is like just id. Like this man has no filter. Like I asked what type is that? I like goaded him and he's just like that's what I hear. Hi Chris. I see you saying hey yeah. And then much shorter than me. How does that make you guys feel? Also, it really should be much shorter than I think, but even though that sounds awkward, much shorter than I am. Um, but how do you all take, and I'm 5'4", so I don't remember how tall he is, but I'm not particularly short. I'm not tall, but I'm kind of average. But I'm much shorter than he is, and that is his type. Now I like men who are very tall in general. I mean, a lot of women do. That's not a crazy thing. I like very bean pully men. That if I have my 100% choice, they can't be too tall or too skinny. The whole height thing says he's 5'6" and has a Napoleon complex, maybe. But if he's 5'6", then I am not much shorter than him. I'm only like this much shorter than him. Here's what I see in that. To me, it makes me feel like he is that merged with the great figure comment. This is someone who is looking for a submissive woman. And I don't mean sexually submissive. I mean a man who wants to, who just wants a woman who is going to be interpersonally submissive to him. I want her small with a great figure. It's just very patriarchal and small minded feeling to me. So that language is terrible. And then I could go on and will if allowed. Um, Professor Meredith, if allowed tells me he's the kind of guy who says things like women can't take a compliment anymore unironically. He is 1,000% that man. Betsy says, no, me is okay. Previous professor of English. Good. It sounds better because it would have to have am after it. But the fact that it would be then I am. Anyways, I won't harp on that. Like he'd lord the size over you. Yeah, he needs to feel like a man with a woman with a nice figure. It's icky. But here's what I hear. I could go on and will, if allowed, means that if I gave my consent, a half a millisecond of credit to this man for not unloading everything he had to say about what his type is in his second message to me and asking for permission. If allowed is him actually is it ask for consent, which I appreciate. The language is a little strange. I do appreciate though that he is asking for consent. But if I said I probably should. Yeah, I should see if I'm still connected to him and be like, sure, go on, just so I can follow up. I am certain I know what was going to come next. Anyone want to take a guess? Do you think the next thing is going to be about my intellect and how my profile was really well written and that I had good taste in music, or he was interested in what my podcast was about? Do you think he's going to ask those kinds of questions if allowed, or offer that kind of information if allowed about what his uh to tell me about what his type is? Because I'm going to bet his type is going to be big boobs, curves. It's all going to be talking about my big tits, which fair, I have them. But like, I could go on and will, if allowed, is absolutely going to lead to him talking about the very specific things he likes about a woman's body that he thinks I would meet that bar. And the only credit I'm going to give Dave is that he didn't just blurt it all out on message number 2. But this is not a man demonstrating good judgment again. It is okay to have preferences. Um, Nearly every man I have dated, it turns out, likes, mouthy, curvy, brainy women, big Rex. If they don't like that, that's kind of a shame, right? If they want to date like the super jock, like tall, lithe, ectomorph frame, like they're going to be disappointed in me. And I don't want to be with someone who's going to be disappointed in me. We all have our preferences, and preferences are wonderful. But like, if your only preferences are around physicality and you just can't show enough judgment to quietly observe, wow, I really like the way she looks. Let me get to know her and maybe I'll get to actually meet her and enjoy her body in person. Like, you're just demonstrating such bad judgment. And most men do this. I know not all men, but like, go for our brains first, you guys. The rest will follow. Oh, Jason. Jason says he could have just said melons and left the chat. Jason is referencing a very unfortunate experience I had visiting my dad in his memory care when one of the new residents, who happens to be my dad's like suite mate, was eating a meal next to him, and he was nonverbal and drooling, and I was like, oh, he's very low functioning. But the one thing he knew how to say is he looked at me and just started screaming big melons at the table over and over and over again. Big melons, kind of like that. It was charming. So we men never age out of it, you guys. That's my takeaway there. Jason, thank you for reminding me. I did not reply after this, Joe. I let it be. Lene is asking, doesn't great figure really mean big boobs? It can. I think it also just means you're slender. Like when women use it, she has a very nice figure. It tends to mean slender and shapely is how I read that, like an hourglass figure is how you usually heard it said. So Donna asks, is he checking out possible power dynamic with you down the road sexual? Yeah, probably. I think that's highly possible and probable as well from what he's written here. He wants someone who's small, much shorter than him, and he will go on if allowed. So he's not interested in a woman talking. Reminds me of the guy who informed me that he was bored by my talking about research projects that were my passion. Yeah, that doesn't sound charming, does it, Betsy? Not at all. Rose says, hey, Dana, I have no butt or boobs. Oh, well, I wish I could give you some. This is too much, but we get what we get and we don't throw a fit, as my daughter's preschool teacher used to say. We have all of our pluses and our minuses. So, yeah, brains I do have. Hold on. Oh, Jason, that's rough. There was a woman you would have married, but you were on level with each other. And I said, if I was a taller man, I'd ask you to marry me. And she said, if you were a taller man, I would say yes. We're still great friends. Jason, that's really sad. I assume there are other reasons, because if that were the only thing, I would think that would be I mean, I like tall men, but I've certainly dated shorter men. We don't get everything that we want. um, but I don't know that whole history. That was a lovely story, though. Jason, Dana's not bad. She's just drawn that way. I was just, yes, very, very good remembering my Jessica Rabbit costume from last year. I know exactly how you meant it. Um, oh, and she's 5'11". Jason, she's gonna have a hard time finding a guy taller than her. Come on. Um, okay. Courtney says I never got the height thing, but I know it's common. Yeah, I just like really ectomorphic, wiry beanpole guys. That's um just tends to be my like long fingered. I don't know, like we all have our preferences. It's okay. It's all okay. Hi, Greg Galaxy. Nice to see you here. What a great crowd we have here. Okay, so I think we have covered Dave pretty well here. I think we've all flicked him to the sun. Goodbye forever. Question if I'm still connected to him. Should I write again and say, please go on? Just to see what he'll say. Is anyone curious enough for me to do that before I block him? I'm not sure if we're even still connected, but if we are, if you all goad me, I will write him. If you think I should leave it alone, I will do that as well. Professor Meredith says I'm 5'7" and I do like a woman taller than me, which is rare. That said, I don't care enough not to date someone because of that. 5'7's not so tall. You should be able to find someone taller than you. Leave it. Okay. Oh yeah, Adam Driver looking. Ah, yes. Gautier. Do you remember him? Somebody that I used to know. Perfect. A man is perfect looking. Um, Timothy Chalamet before he cut his hair. If he were like 30 years older and he wasn't an asshole, he's kind of ruined it all. Okay. If I want to take notes for the novel, I don't know that I'll be writing a novel. That's certainly not about red flag roundups, but perhaps dialogue in a future something or other. I'll think about it. I probably won't write him again. I don't want to poke the beast, too hard. I'm coming back to where is my StreamYard? Too many windows. Okay, StreamYard Studio. I have, oh gosh, I'm behind. I hope you guys can go a little bit over because I have 3 more to go here and they're really good ones. Okay, this one is actually less egregious than the one before. I should have done the order differently, but I do not usually write back to men who just lead with hi beautiful or you're gorgeous or whatever like this man did. This is my first message from him. You are gorgeous. And I'm sort of just being droll and I say, thanks, name. I blacked out his name. And then he gets like a little more interesting. How old are your 2 humans? Because I do say I have 2 kids in my profile. Mine is going to be X age, already an adult this year. It was hard growing up with her. So I guess he was a young dad. That's okay. And then he says, you are gorgeous, by the way. I was like, so I've heard. When I use that face, that smirk face, that means I'm done. I'm just playing with my food at this point. LOL, glad you know. This is probably not the worst guy in the world, just clueless of like, I don't want to have people just come in and comment on my looks. I just thought it was so funny that he like repeated it literally a line later. That's like all he had to say. It was just, you're gorgeous. And you're gorgeous, by the way. To me, that one was more funny. And I don't have a ton of discourse analysis. I think it's pretty evident he's simply leading with looks and he's repeating himself leading with looks. Okay. Much better than the last guy. If there was a like, you have to pick one right now and you've got to go date him, I would definitely pick this guy. Luckily, nobody's making me do that. Gay Calloway, I love your username. That's very cute. Welcome. Eve, I hear you. Eve is saying, I'm concerned. I can't believe people are choosing life mates based on height of all things. Sounds like something Nazis would do. I think that's a little heavy-handed. Yeah, we're not talking about killing babies at birth because they're not tall enough. We are allowed to have our preferences. None of us are saying that we would absolutely never date anyone who didn't hit a certain height. It is okay to have preferences. And I think there's a lot of space between I prefer dating tall people and being Nazi-like, especially because I'm Jewish. So I'm just going to close that conversation. Okay. So I'm going to move on to the next guy because this one is just sort of a little funny one in here. Lightening up the mood a bit. Coming back to StreamYard. I have 2 instances of StreamYard open. That's not the correct one. Here it is. Okay, this guy, this is just his profile. So, if memory serves, this guy was pretty handsome because I read his profile. So he made it past just the face thing. So he's a he, him, straight man. So the first prompt, life's too short to ... For those of you not on apps, they give a lot of prompts like this to try to get, more words out of people because it's hard to face a blank page. Some of the prompts are better than others. So life's too short to not laugh, love, and be kind. We could call this glittering generalities, or it's a bit trite. It's like a little like live, laugh, love sign on the wall. But, it's okay. Not everybody is a great writer, and the sentiment is fine. Yes, we all like to laugh. Being kind is very important. That's like one of my top attributes. Kindness is key. Let's do this together and continue experiencing an amazing life. Exclamation point. Okay. Also not super interesting, but okay. And then XXOOO extra O. And it was funny. I showed this to one of my married friends, actually the woman who was doing my hair, because I think this came in while I was getting my hair cut this week. And she was like, it's cute, like hugs. And I was like, I don't think he means a hug. And she was like, oh, is that what you think he means? Because she's been married for like 20 years. And I was like, yeah, I think that's what he means. I think that this man's way of introducing himself to potential women who might want to date him is a lot of very trite words. Live, laugh, love, be kind. Let's have an amazing life. And lots of orgasms, which great. Maybe we don't all want that. I want that. A lot of us want that. Maybe not the first thing you write in your dating profile. Again, judgment, especially because he thinks he's being clever. That's my read on this. I would love to hear your reads. If you guys think I am overshooting, or if you are like, yeah, that's absolutely what that means. So I'm coming back to read comments here. Let me see here. AI written. AI would write better than that and wouldn't have all the exclamation points. That's not AI written. That's dummy written. I think that's mean. I shouldn't say dummy written, but that's sloppy writing. Let's just say that. I would love to hear your thoughts. Am I judging this man too harshly for his XXOOO extra O? Does he mean hugs or does he mean orgasms? Tell me in the chat what you guys think, because I thought this was egregious and was a like absolutely no. Betsy, I'm not even sure what authentic personalities collide. See, I didn't even make it down there. I just stopped up here. Yeah. I think he's saying that we should both show up with our authentic personalities. And then when we meet, we're gonna realize there's great romantic chemistry and those two things will collide and it will be amazing. Friends first. I love that he's leading with extra O's, but he says friends first. I would like to see a complete thought in a complete sentence. Mike, same. Your bar is very high for online dating apps. But yes, complete sentences would be great. Karma thinks he's a love bomber. It's just weird and definitely a no. Okay, so Kathy interpreted as a hug. And Mad Philosopher says, I think he meant orgasm, but left a little ambiguity to backpedal to hug. It's a test and apologize, right? If you interpret it that way, it's him testing to see how you interpret. And if the woman gets offended by it, he can just be like, no, I just meant hugs. Um, and Betsy had also thought hug, but now I'm totally grossed out. Maybe I'm just on these app, like I've dealt with apps too much, and I'm just like, yeah, no, that's especially the way all caps extra O. He definitely is being sexual there. So Jenny Young from Burnt Haystack Method, she leads with like, if it's not something someone would say to you in real life when you first meet them, like at an event or at a bar, out at dinner, if they're saying things because it's in writing and they're not facing you, they wouldn't say in person. Imagine that they said that in person. Imagine someone walked up to you in a bar and was like, XOXO extra O's. You'd be like, ew, get away from me. It's just inappropriate. Just inappropriate. Mike says, I'm a girl dad. I have high expectations for my gender. Stop embarrassing me. I have high expectations for your gender too. I have extremely high expectations for what they need to show up as in order to get to know me. So I'm not bringing the ones who are better. Maybe one day I should do a green flag roundup and just show like profiles that were perfectly acceptable. Really nice ways in which men have led. That would be kind of cool, actually. Um, Dang, I could not do this. Being alone is not so bad. It's just creepy. Yes. It reminds you of Lumberg from Office Space. I don't remember who Lumberg is, so you have to remind me. It's been a long time since I've seen Office Space. Okay, I think we've covered this gentleman. I think we can all agree. That's a big no thank you. We're gonna just say no to that one. All right, now the final one is the one that's clearly egregious, but I think you will all appreciate it. They've been sort of thematically similar and building. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? I even gave you part of his photo, a bit of his arm. Here, I'll show this arm so you can all see my. What's that? That's my new tattoo. Thank you for asking. I just got it last weekend. Isn't she cute? Um, just had to show off, but this is a 58-year-old gentleman. So certainly he has had many years to learn how to speak to a woman. This, judging by the UI, this is Facebook dating. So I am not on like Field or any of the more like sexually adventurous, choose your own sexual adventure sorts of dating sites because I am looking for a partner, not just a play partner. So like a romantic and life partner. And on sites like Field, it's pretty common to lead with your fetishes, your kinks, or whatever. So here's what this man is writing. I'm going to need a little more iced mocha to get through this one. This wine is making me awesome, in quotes. I'm not sure what that actually, does anybody know what that quote is? I'm going to just, because I don't. I meant to look that up because I do like that quote. That's funny. This wine is making me awesome. I see t-shirts, but I don't see a quote. It might be from Schitt's Creek because it's pulling up a few Schitt's Creek things. So, oh, is that in the Moira Rose wine commercial? That might be because that's what it just pulled up. I'm not sure. It's possible that that's where that's from, but if you know, um, okay. So here we go. Craving I'm going to read this. Hold on. Let me read this seductively. I'm going to read this in the tone that I think he probably speaks down here, but I'm going to read it in my voice. Craving curves, pleasure, and adventure. And his face is on this profile, by the way. I've cropped it, but this is not an anonymous one. Frisky. It's emoji theater. We're ending with it again. Frisky. Thumbs up. Cuddles. Thumbs up. Jenny Young from Burnt Haystack has a whole thing about cuddle bears. As one of her, I'm pausing to say, this is a rhetorical pattern. Men who reference cuddling are a special kind of ick because we all know they mean sex. We all know that men have been told women don't want things to be overtly sexual, although this guy didn't get the memo. So when they say cuddles, we know what they really mean is sex, but they're using language we use with our children to mean sex. And so it's like cognitive dissonance and it's so much ick. Ick, ick, ick. Cuddles, thumbs up. Honest, thumbs up. Bigger than my head. I want you all to really hear that one. We have a and then a wink in case you don't get what he means, and then a thumbs up. Bigger than my head. Okay. Led Zeppelin. Get a little music. Poor hygiene. No. And apparently this man is Canadian because Vancouver and Toronto both get thumbs up. So I live in Seattle and the Facebook dating tends to give a very wide range. Even if you say, like I do, I only want people within 25 miles of Seattle. I get a lot of Canadians, which the Canadians actually usually the men seem awesome, a lot of them. And then I'm like, oh, but you're in Canada. That's too far. Yeah, good hygiene. I understand that. That's good. And be kind to animals. Ask me anything and be kind to animals. Like, what the hell with the be kind to animals? That's actually kind of funny, but it's so just like I want to fuck women with huge fucking tits and be kind to animals. Like, it's so funny. It's such dissonance. And I get a lot of men who mention curves in their profile. And this is not shocking because I don't know if they're bigger than his head. Do you know how bigger than my head would have to be? I'm just like I have quite a rack. But um like a boob that's bigger than a head? I mean, that's big. Like that would be really big. So obviously he is looking for something casual, chatting, and friendship. We can just be friends. Be kind to animals. This one just made me laugh because while, like I said, we are all allowed to have our preferences, and I am always very happy when I find out that a man I'm interested in likes curvy women, because if he doesn't, he's probably not going to like me. And no matter how much he likes what's up here, if he's not attracted to what's in the rest of me physically, that's probably going to be more of a friendship. So I love that there are men who like really curvy women. It's not the dominant beauty norm. So I want to encourage men who prefer curvy women to speak out and express it, but maybe not like this. Maybe not like this, because this is fetishizing. And even if this guy were looking for a long-term relationship and otherwise had written things that seemed compatible with me, this would be such a hard no. Such a hard no. Bigger than my head is like, it's a very, very hard no. Oh, Diane, I don't think he's smelly. Oh, wait a minute. Poor hygiene is a thumbs down. It's a double negative. He wants good hygiene. He's very clean, right? So let me come back here and see the comments here. Okay, how tiny is his brain? That I can't say. Oh, because bigger than his head. Yeah. Jason says, I have a backlog of Facebook dating matches to go through. Oh, you're on Facebook dating. I even edited profile to declare I have now been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Oh, not really available, Jason. I'm sorry that, so you still have your profile up, but you're making your availability known. I'm sorry to hear that. And maybe if you have red flags, maybe we should share one of your examples if you want to in one of these. Oh God, Betsy says, oh no, he's talking boobs. Oh my God, I'm so naive. See, that's why I do these. That's why I host these red flag roundups. They're fun and they're funny, but they're also, I hope, educational. But yes, he is bigger than my head, along with the craving curves comment. Pleasure and adventure is definitely a reference to boobs. Be kind to animals is such a throwaway line. It's like he had to put something benign at the end to cover the ick. Totally, Mike. He's just like, but be kind to animals. See, I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. I just like big boobs and I cannot lie. Yeah, it's yeah. These guys just make you feel like there is a higher than average possibility they will sexually assault you. Yes, Mad Philosopher Society. That is, as I said earlier on this live, women are simply coming in with a way higher risk. Um, Wait, it's just that's the end. Risk, not a risk anything. The risks are our risks are so much higher. And yeah, sexual assault or other violence being committed against us is always a risk when meeting strange men. And yeah, this guy, it feels a little violating just to read but when he's on like uh, a normie dating app leading with this. I mean, it's not really a violation, but yeah, it feels icky. And does make you think, oh, I wonder what he'd be like in real life. He would certainly not have great judgment. He is not exercising good judgment here. Or maybe he is. Maybe the only women who are saying yes are the ones who want the same thing that he wants. But I don't think there are that many, even women who are just looking for casual sex. I would think most of us are looking for a sense of safety first. And this is exercising poor judgment. If you go on an app like Field and you say things like this, it's very benign because it's explicitly what it's for, right? You're entering a room understanding what the room was made for. This guy, not so much. Not so much. So, creepers about redheads. Yeah, that definitely is something that gets fetishized, even though it's not really red. He literally sees animals as more human than women. Wow, karma. Next level. You're so right. That's totally what is happening here. If you really look at the full profile of he hasn't mentioned anything about being kind to women, but he wants you to be kind to animals. He's simply objectifying women and wanting them to be frisky, clean, and cuddle bunnies. Ugh. Yeah, very, very yucky. Do not like. So we're going to end here with this fella, Mr. Curve Craver, we'll call him. He was the biggest, the reddest of the red flags, I would say, of this bunch. Um, Let me remove him from the stage and then I'll blow back up again. Hi, it's me again, all big on your screen. This has been so much fun. This has been a thank you for helping me hit a decile, 210 paid subscribers. It's crazy. I'm still blown away by that number. I am so grateful to all of you. If I hit the next decile before this pledge drive ends, I will do another one of these very quickly. And I have way more and a supply incoming. So I believe there will be no shortage of men for the red flag roundup. Oh, let me come back to the chat since I'm gonna be ending pretty soon. Oh, show the tattoo. Okay. I showed it once, but I'll show it again now. Oh, there's my little hummingbird. Isn't she cute? I love her. My daughter got a similar but different one. Hers, the face and the beak is in a slightly different position, but I love the line weight. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's only 5 days old. I think it's looking very good. It's a hummingbird mid-flight, midlife and mid-flight, right, Lynette? I like the I Write Out Loud reference. Before we go, I am going to do one last pitch that for the next 2 1/3 days till Sunday night, so a couple more days, I will still be running this offer 40% off, not 40% off, $40 annually for the lifetime of the subscription. I'm just noticing that my chat froze. So you all have been very chatty, which is awesome. Actually, it looks like maybe my internet access died. Hopefully you all can still hear me, but I can't refresh the screen. That's really weird. Let me try opening a new tab. There, I'm moving again. Okay, it was just that browser window. Karma, it is. We've been going for an hour and 15 minutes. I will share the recap of this pretty quickly. And hopefully, I have all my fingers crossed that I'm going to hit the next decile and I'm going to do another one of these. I am definitely going to do more of these with my paid subscribers. And there are other benefits that are coming. So to all of you who are considering, who are not yet paid subscribers, who have considered it, these next 2 days, this is the deepest discount that will be $40 annual for the lifetime of the subscription. There will be no surprises at renewal time. And that goes through end of day Sunday. So if you have been entertained by this red flag roundup and you need more red flag goodness in your life, if you read my essays, if you would like to come to our Sunday salon, if you are interested in the educational materials I'm going to start rolling out in the next week or two, or at least in July. I keep thinking it's almost July. I would love to have you as a paid subscriber to I Write Out Loud. And I will put that link in one last time before we go. Oh, Jessica, you just got here. We went through how many red flags? 5? I think 5. The recap is coming soon, Jessica. This was so fun, you guys. I could do this all day. Like rhetorical analysis, so fun chatting with all of you. This has been amazing. So I will get the recap up very quickly. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I'm going live twice tomorrow morning, so I'm going to do a quick shout out for that. I will be on Saturdays for Sanity with Julie Roginski and with Lawrence tomorrow. Michelle Kinney is out, so the three of us will be on the Mayday Network on their Feel Good show, as opposed to all of the news shows during the week. That starts at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific for me, and then at noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific, I will be live with Open Secrets Magazine because I just had an essay published there. In fact, hang on a second, I am going to grab it. It's a Father's Day themed essay, and it is not pulling up here. I'm just trying to type this in quickly. There it is. It is the story of my stepfather, who I had a very wonderful relationship with for many decades. Even though he and my mom eventually divorced, but he committed a pretty bad series of felonies and went to prison. And how do we reconcile someone who has been very good to us with someone who does very, very bad things? Was a fascinating essay to write. And when I learned about Open Secrets magazine, I was like, that's where the story goes. This is an open secret. The essay is right there. And so I will be talking with Rachel Bissell. That's how you say her last name, from Open Secrets Magazine. And that will be at noon tomorrow. So I'm doing the conversion in my head here. 10 a.m. Eastern Time with Mayday Network with Julie Roginski and with Lawrence Winterman. And at noon Eastern Time, I will be on with Open Secrets Magazine tomorrow. And then, of course, Sunday will be the Sunday Salon, and it will be Father's Day. So we're going to be talking about lots of dad things. I will give a lot more behind the scenes tea about, I have 2 essays up, one about my dad and one about my stepdad. Lots of behind the scenes tea to talk about, and I'm sure lots of dad stories because parental relationships are complicated. So, love you all. Mean it. Have a wonderful start to your weekend, and hopefully I will see you on some more lives. Bye all.